The champions-elect arriving at Tynecastle for the final push. On the day they can round off a sequence of 6 Ladbrokes Premiership titles. It's been a multiple record-breaking season for Celtic, one Brendan Rodgers would not have envisaged when he arrived in Scotland.
Celtic's one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's an institution in its own right. It's a huge honour and a privilege to be able to come and manage Glasgow Celtic. For me, the objective is pretty clear. It's to continue with the domination of Scottish football.
Celtic are showing no signs of letting up here. Another stroll in the park for Celtic. Well, they just keep going and going and going. Unbeatable, uncatchable, Celtic.
Hearts' home record is strong, although head coach Ian Cathro is under close scrutiny. Since replacing Robbie Neilson in the middle of the season, Hearts have won just 4 of 13 in the league. The transition has been troublesome. This head-to-head is always special at one of the most atmospheric grounds in Britain. The Ladbrokes Premiership could reach its climax here at Tynecastle live on Sky Sports. Now, the maximum points total Aberdeen can reach from their remaining 8 games is 85. If Celtic win today, they'll surpass that and hit 86. The Invincibles will therefore become the Uncatchables. Hearts still have Europa League ambitions. So Celtic are on the brink of glory, and they can finish what they started here back on the opening day in August if they win. I'm delighted to say I'm joined today by 2 men who know exactly how the players are feeling. It's Neil McCann and John Collins, the former Celtic assistant manager. Let's have a look at the teams then. I can tell you that Hearts have switched to a 4-4-2 for this one. Bjorn Jonsson comes in up front alongside Isma Goncalves. It's Jonsson's first start for a month. Key midfielder Arnold June was injured in international duty and is replaced by Perry Kitchen. It's the captain's first start since the defeat to Hibernian in the Scottish Cup. Now, Celtic was out their 2 main strikers. 32-goal Moussa Dembele injured a hamstring at Dundee a fortnight ago, while Lee Griffiths was kneed in the back by the Slovenia goalie Jan Oblak. Now, coincidentally, both strikers missed the last meeting with Hearts. The striking slot is the only change from Dens Park. Patrick Roberts comes into the team. He scored 4 goals in 3 appearances against Hearts. Gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. John, Brendan Rodgers has come in here taking over the mantle from you and Ronnie Dyler. What do you make of the job that Brendan Rodgers has done? Well, it goes without saying, from start to finish, it's been a great season. His signings, his first 2 main signings were the difference, Dembele and Sinclair. And ultimately, that's the difference. Recruitment has been superb. 2 players, scored goals, creative, quick, athletic, added to the quality players that were already there. A little bird tells me that Brendan Rodgers gave you a buzz before he took the job. What did you tell him? I just told him there's good players there. I told him the strengths and weaknesses, what I believed in the group and the squad. And he asked me a few questions, but I told him it was a great club. It would be a great job for him. Of the players who were there last season, can you see a real difference in them as well? I think the biggest difference is captain Scott Brown's come back to what he was. I think he struggled last year with injuries, playing with injuries, niggling injuries. Had the break in the summer, came away for the national team, and he's come back a new player, fresh, full of energy, driving the team forward. Stuart Armstrong's moved from wide into the central area, and he's a top quality football player. He's an intelligent player. He can play in so many positions, and there's only so many players can do that. And I think it's a good thing for a player when he can play left, he can play right, he can play sitting mid or attacking midfielder. And Stuart's blossomed this season. John, why did Ronnie not play him in that position then? Well, we had Stefan Johansson the year before, he was Scotland's Player of the Year and top scorer in midfield. So Ronnie stuck with Stefan because of the season before he was outstanding. But as the season goes on then, surely? He probably should have moved him from the wider area into that central zone. But he did a good job for us on the right-hand side coming in. He scored goals, but his best position is central, and he probably should have had more of an opportunity to play in central. And the weaknesses you said to Brendan, has he addressed them then, for you?
Yeah, I think his first two signings.
And what was those weaknesses?
Well, I think Celtic needed that for the Champions League. You needed a striker that was maybe more powerful, quicker, could hold it up. When playing away from home in the Champions League, you're not going to dominate games. You need somebody who can pick a pass 30 yards, he'll take it in his chest, hold it, hold the ball, let midfielders come up and support. Which Griff, that's no his type.
It's funny, Gordon Strachan mentioned that as well with Griff has so many goals, but when Dembele came into that side, you remember David at the Old Firm game, he brought a different dynamic to Celtic.
First thing I've got to say, Griffiths was brilliant for us, 40 goals was exceptional. But what he hasn't got that central striker that holds the ball up, plays with his back to goal, and links with midfield players. He got better at it, but Dembele's more of that style, he's got more of a physical presence. He's quicker, I think, but I won't say he's a better finisher than Lee Griffiths.
Okay, both of course are out today. This is the third time that these two sides have collided this season. The first, as I mentioned, was on the opening day.
Armstrong bursting into the box with the strikers. Forrest! And the champions lay down an early marker. Tony Watt, Jamie Walker, and a penalty for Hearts. It's Jamie Walker, it's never in doubt. Perfect penalty. Hearts are level. Sinclair waiting. That's the way to announce your arrival. Callum McGregor picks up from Sinclair. Tierney across. Nearly an own goal. Scott Sinclair. Tierney ready to deliver again. It's Roberts. Aitchison. Penalty. It's Sinclair. It's not in doubt. 4-0.
So, will it be a hat-trick of wins for Brendan Rodgers? The Celtic manager is right now with Luke Shanley.
Brendan, you're nearly there. What's the mindset and what's the message to your team today?
Well, it's pretty much the same, really. If we can do it today, great. If we don't, it's okay. We've got another game on Wednesday night and another game after that. Just give no more or no less. The players have been brilliant, how they've been all season. So just go and do and prepare yourself how you've been in every game and do your very best.
Maybe like the last time you played against Hearts, there's no Dembele, but Roberts is in. Is there a change of approach in any way, or is it just the same as?
Yeah, no, our idea is always to dominate the game where we can, but we expect a really tough game today. Hearts results have been a wee bit mixed of late, so we think that they'll come, be 4-4-2, be aggressive. So it'll be a real big test for us today, like the first game was a real good test here, but came through that. So that'll be the idea again today.
Are you setting up different in any way given that, or will it be Roberts through the middle?
Have a little look and then see, and then tell me after the game. It's irrespective of the formation or the structure. Our style will always be the same. We'll always look to build our game, dominate the game, play with a big aggression when we haven't got the ball, and score goals and hopefully win.
Enjoy the day.
Pleasure, thank you.
Brendan said this week the first thing he had to do when he arrived was develop the mental strength. Will they need all of that on a day like today when the nerves kick in?
Trust me, when the Celtic players arrived here, the first thing you do is you go out and check the pitch. You'll walk out and see that bowling green surface, and every single one of them will be desperate to get on that park. It's made for Celtic style of play. 1-2s, players running, dribbling with the ball. If they were coming here with a bumpy surface like previously it was, but today there'll be no nerves. This is a game that everybody dreams of. Terrific full stadium, great football pitch, sun shining, go and win the title.
And it's a brand new pitch laid in February, and it really does look the part in the sunshine today. Who, apart from the new players, who's caught your eye and the guys that you work with? Who do you think's raised their game onto, as Brendan said, another level this year?
I think Stuart Armstrong's the one that stands out. He's been playing more of a central role. He's beating players, he's scoring goals, he's making goals, he's stepped up to the international scene, and absolutely delighted for him. He's an absolute joy to work with, an intelligent football player who trains properly every day. He always asks the right questions, wasn't happy when he wasn't playing his natural position, but he got on with it and did a job for the team. Tierney, we spotted him playing for wasn't even playing for under 20s when we arrived. Wasn't even a regular. Brought him in first day on the training pitch. You could tell this guy has got what it takes. Trains like every day like it's a cup final. And when the Celtic fans watched him the first time he pulled on a jersey, they took to him. Why? Because they could see somebody that was playing with the heart, playing with his brains, and he's just going to get better and better and better. And
he was fantastic at right back, wasn't he, for Scotland last Sunday? And talking to the Celtic fans, look who's arrived with them. Lee Griffiths, the man we were just talking about there. Under 1,500 Celtic fans will be inside Tynecastle today. They've got the golden ticket, but you've got the best seat in the house. Is this the day for Celtic? Next, we'll speak to the man who hopes to spoil the party. Sky Sports is live at the home of the Hearts, Tynecastle Stadium in Edinburgh. The home fans hope they don't see Celtic clinch the title here. Last April, they all but finished the job at this very ground.
Richards fires it in. It's a terrific run. It's a terrific goal. Patrick Roberts scores. Fantastic finish from Griffiths. Is that done and dusted? Another title, a leaving present for Ronnie Dyler.
And joining Neil McCann and me here in the studio today is John Collins, who was on the pitch that day here at Tynecastle. Now, the Hearts head coach, Ian Cathro, has had a tough introduction to life in the hot seat in his 17 league and cup games in charge. Hearts have won just 5, losing 8. Now, when he took over back in December, Hearts were on a 6-game unbeaten run. Now, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, and there's no glossing over. This is a testing period for Ian Cathro, who's with Luke Shanley.
Ian, how do you go about trying to beat Celtic today?
Well, we focus on making sure that we're competitive throughout the whole game. Of course, you know, we play against a strong opponent, but we have qualities as well, and we'll focus on our qualities. Very important game today at the start of what is a big week for us.
What have you been working on over the international break to try and turn things around?
Well, there's a number of things, you know. It's a constant process trying to improve all aspects of our play. Of course, you know, you look into the games where we've suffered a little bit, and there are areas there where we need to do some work together, and that's something which only really matters when it comes through on the pitch.
How do you try and stop Celtic's threats?
Well, we also have some of our own threats, and we want to make this a game of football today, so we're here to compete. And yes, we, as I say, we respect their qualities, but we're very aware that we also have qualities.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Ian Cathro. John, were you surprised with his appointment?
I think very surprised. Why? Because he's got no playing background. He hasn't managed at any level. So to all of a sudden go from that to get from the third biggest job in Scottish football, it's a big risk by Craig. But his previous appointment, Robbie Nielsen, was probably a risk as well, lesser risk, because he was a good football player. And Robbie was a huge success. So he's went down a similar road, a young, inexperienced manager, and only time will tell if he can rise to the challenge and actually be a manager.
How important will Jamie Walker be to his ability to thrive in this job and thrive today?
Yeah, I think Hearts after getting out the match, he'll be key. I like Jamie. I think he's blossomed into a very, very good footballer. A very good talent at a young age. He's now starting to be a leader on the pitch, which I'm quite excited about. And I've chosen 4 examples of Jamie's goals, and they're all different. And that shows the type of maturity that's creeping into his performances. He plays in a wider area, of course, but he doesn't stand out there. He doesn't stand and wait and getting on the ball. He's not a natural type winger, as pretty much most people think maybe he is. He gets himself into the pitch. This is a real intelligent run. He's had a glance over his left shoulder to notice that there's a player out there. Then it's a dart inside. It's a shift. It's a burst for 5-6 yards. This is different again. This is up in the game, and be prepared to hit it when it feels right. So he's got an all manner of danger within his game, and if he can get into the right areas today, because I still believe that Celtic are vulnerable at times at the back, then they might get a bit of joy, but he needs service, and he must be really frustrated he's not in the Scotland squad.
John, what do you think he needs to do to force his way into the Scotland squad? 15 goals this season.
Well, it's a terrific record in a team that's been struggling the last few months. I think he's all round, as Neil was just saying, the pictures of have showed us he's a good all-round football player. Technically he's gifted, he can go up to somebody and beat them, he can play a killer pass, and most of all now, he can finish moves off, he's scoring goals. He's just got to keep playing well, and fingers crossed he will.
Does he work hard enough for you?
I think off the ball, maybe he can work a little bit harder, he can better instant reactions. As soon as he loses the ball, can he go really quick and try and win it back? If he can add that to his game, then he's got a real chance.
That's something though that this whole team need to do, John. Yep. Because since Robbie Nielsen's left, they were a real structured side, and Ian's come in and he's tried to change the gameplay, but I think the players have let him down as well. I don't see them working hard enough, I don't see them putting the foot in, I don't see the same demands that was placed upon them by Robbie, and that's where they need to get it right. They need a fast start here at Tynecastle. All the games I've played against Celtic here at Tynecastle, you need to be in the faces. Don't let the good players settle and enjoy the occasion. Make it horrible for them.
Well,
sorry?
Is it a bit too cultured under the new manager?
Well, he's trying to get his own style across, but without substance, without a real steel, you have to earn the right to play, and I know that's a cliche, but in Scotland you do it. And at Tynecastle, more than most, because it's a tight pitch, teams don't want to come here and mix it because it is that way. And certainly not Celtic. I'm not saying they're soft, but if you give them a chance, they will go and punish you.
If you've to have any chance of playing against this Celtic team, you've got to hustle them. You've got to be at them, hunting packs, make it difficult. And if you set off this team and let them get the balls to the top players round about the box, they're going to score goals and create chances.
The back three, David, and I say the back three because I'm talking about Struna has to match Sinclair. The other boys, if you're up against Patrick Roberts, Avanitis and Novak, be aggressive with Roberts. He's not going to back in, he's not going to outmuscle you. And then Forrest, if you're looking at Forrest, if I'm Leonard Soa, I'll say go on the outside. Take him on the outside, don't come inside and link up and get shots of goal. Go on the outside, and if you're going to put in a cross, I fancy my centre-backs to deal with it. That's a little bit of game plan. And if they get those things right, I think we could be in for a real interesting game.
I think we'll be in for an interesting game no matter what happens, let's be honest about it. So is this the day that Brendan Rodgers and his Invincibles win the Ladbrokes Premiership for that little group of Celtic supporters in the corner of the Roseburn stand? They need to win here in Edinburgh to make it 6 in a row. Kick-off in the sunshine is next.